Hello, this is Miss Thomas, and in today's lesson 12.5, you'll be looking at classifying quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral is any shape that has four sides and four angles, just like the ones shown in the middle. All of these shapes have four sides and four angles, so they are classified as quadrilaterals. Below, we'll look at some specific types of quadrilaterals. The first type of quadrilateral is a trapezoid. In order for a shape to be classified as a trapezoid, it must have at least one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Parallel sides are sides that will never cross and never meet. The first shape is a trapezoid because it has one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Next to it is also a trapezoid because it also has one pair of parallel sides. Those two sides will never cross and never meet. A trapezoid has exactly one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. A trapezoid is also a quadrilateral because they all have four sides and four angles. Next, we have a rectangle. Rectangles have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. This side is parallel to this side. They will never touch and they will never meet, while this side is parallel to this side. A rectangle has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. In order for a shape to be classified as a rectangle, it also has to have two pairs of sides of equal length. This side and this side are equal, and this side and this side are equal. A rectangle must also have four right angles. Remember, a right angle forms a perfectly square corner, and it measures at 90 degrees. A square is also classified as a rectangle because it has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. It has two pairs of opposite sides that also have equal length, and it has four right angles. A square is a square. A square is also classified as a rectangle, and a square is additionally classified as a quadrilateral that has four sides and four angles. Next, we look at shapes that are only classified as a square. We know that a square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be a square. I know this sounds a little confusing, but let's look at why. Let's look at what classifies a shape to be called a square. A square must have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, as we saw before. One pair parallel to that, and another pair of opposite sides that are parallel. This is what makes a square, but a rectangle cannot be a square. Because in order for a square to be called a square, it has to have four sides of equal length. All the sides must be equal. A rectangle cannot be called a square because it does not have all sides equal. A square must also have four right angles. So far we know that a square is a rectangle, a square is a square, and a square is a quadrilateral. Last, we have a rhombus. And guess who's there again? The square. Now, why is a square also classified as a rhombus? We are familiar with this being a rhombus, but a square is also a rhombus. Well, a square has to have, and a rhombus also has to have, two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. This side is parallel to that side, and this side is parallel to that side. Just like in the rhombus that we are accustomed to seeing, This side and this side are parallel. They will never meet and they will never touch. This side and this side are parallel. They will never meet and they will never cross. That is the first classification of a rhombus. The next is that a rhombus must have all sides of equal length. Just like a square, all of these sides on a rhombus are equally measured. Just like on a square, all sides are equal. So in order for a shape to be considered a rhombus, it must have 4 or all sides that are equal. So we know that a square is a square is a rectangle, a square is a rhombus, and a square is also a quadrilateral. So these are the different ways that you can classify quadrilaterals based on their parallel sides, their angles, and the length of their sides.